Hey guys, it's Brandon Miniman from Pocketnow.com. Today Apple announced the iPad mini, and they announced a new iPad 4 that we really didn't expect. In this video, we're going to cover some first impressions. Let's get to it. So first I should start off by saying that Apple can no longer keep secrets. The iPad mini, we saw this device months and months before its announcement today. Even back to the iPhone 5, we saw that months and months previous to that device's announcement. Even the iPad 3, earlier this year, we saw leaked many months prior to its announcement. So the iPad 4 was a little bit of a surprise. We expected potentially a refreshed iPad 3 with a Lightning port, but we did not expect it to have a much upgraded A6x CPU. And to be honest, the iPad 3 does have some lags and some glitches that causes it to feel a little bit slow at times. If you have an iPad 3, you know what I'm talking about. Has usually great performance, but sometimes when you're playing a high FPS game or you're flipping through a very image-heavy website, it does get bogged down a little bit. So the inclusion of the A6X chip, whatever that is, I'm assuming that it's an A6 chip, but better, maybe with more GPU cores, will be fantastic. Also with the iPad 4, which they're not calling the iPad 4, it's just, again, the new iPad, there's faster Wi-Fi, which is always good. There's also a higher resolution front-facing camera, if anyone actually uses FaceTime. I know I really don't. And it's also got LTE on more carriers like Sprint here in the US. So the iPad 4, definitely a welcomed addition. It's still going to be thick, it's still going to be heavy, just like the original iPad, and it comes in at the same price as the iPad 3. And that'll be up for pre-order on Friday, on the 26th of October, and it will be shipping a week after that, and then 2 weeks after that, the cellular iPad 4 starts shipping. And then the iPad mini was announced. And there are some disappointing parts of the iPad mini, but overall, the iPad mini is going to be a smash hit because literally, it takes everything that's good about the iPad, the awesome apps, the fantastic speed, the performance, the form factor, and makes it smaller, so supposedly you can hold it with one hand. I was very disappointed that the screen resolution is only 1024 by 768. The Nexus 7 has a higher screen resolution at 1280 by 800. So does many other tablets out there that run Android at the smaller screen size, because at 1024 by 768 you only get 162 ppi resolution, and that's not really that great. But again, I think the fact that the iPad mini is so thin and so light, it's only 7.2 millimeters thick, it's going to make it an awesome device. You're going to be able to get it in a bag and put it in a pocket and really experience all of those cool things that you like about the iPad just on the go and in a more compact form. Also, the design of the iPad mini looks awesome, inspired by the iPhone 5. It's got that beveled edge around the perimeter, which hopefully doesn't scratch as easily as the iPhone 5. We've got a aluminum backing, just like the iPad and the iPhone 5, of course, and hopefully, again, that doesn't scratch so easily. It's available in black and white, and the black one looks just awesome, I should say. Hopefully it's not a fingerprint magnet. Another cool thing about the iPad mini is that it starts at just $329. Of course, you can get a Nexus 7 for $199. But probably if you're looking at an iPad mini, you're not the kind of person that also would like an Android tablet, and the reverse is true as well. The iPad mini, you know it's going to be a great tablet, but it's going to be locked in to what Apple wants you to do. You're not going to be able to change it very much because it runs iOS just like every single iOS device. So if you're okay with that, you'll like the iPad mini, but if you want the freedom and flexibility that only Android can provide, then the Nexus 7 is still a fantastic choice. So overall, personally, I can't wait for the iPad mini. I'm tired of the thick and heavy weight of the iPad 3, and the iPad 4 is going to be the same story. Apple did what they needed to do. They're opening the market even more. Now they're competing with smaller tablets, but of course, the Android camp doesn't sit still, and Google knows this, and in 2013, I know we said this about 2012, they're going to get serious in tablets, because this is a market that they have to compete in, and now with the smaller iPad, the pressure is on even more. So, what do you think about the iPad mini and the iPad 4? Are you going to get one, or are you going to stick with Android, or are you not even convinced that tablets are for you? Well, I'm a tablet lover. It says so in my Twitter profile, so I can't wait for both of these two new tablets. So if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. That's it for now.